Ontario Premier Doug Ford has made his thoughts known after a home invasion that happened in Lindsay earlier this week.
Something is broken. I know if someone breaks into my house or someone else's, you're going to fight for your life. This guy has a weapon. You're going to use any force you possibly can to protect your family.
So here's the backstory, right? The intruder is facing a number of charges, but the home's resident is also facing charges of aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. Story obviously raising questions about how self-defense laws work in this country. With more on this, I'm joined by criminal defense lawyer Kim Schofield. It's good to have you, and everyone's talking about this, right?
Yes.
And we're a little bit unclear on the rules, it appears. Many people have expressed surprise, including myself, that the victim in a home invasion robbery is the one charged with aggravated assault. There are charges on both sides, but the victim is charged with aggravated assault. Is that surprising to you that we're surprised by this?
Well, it's not surprising that there are charges, because this is a situation where it's not just a self-defense. There was a knife involved, and the injuries were so serious that it resulted in the invader. And I know that it's a situation where you think you can do anything you want or anything to defend yourself. And that is true to a certain extent. You can do anything that's reasonable in the circumstances, not anything you can. So when Doug Ford speaks of, well, it's surprising that you can't do anything you can, it's really anything that's reasonable. And that's what the law is. And in this case, the police found that, at least on their investigation, it was not reasonable.
Let's talk about the knife, because court documents show that the resident had a knife.
Yes.
At what point does self-defense become assault?
Okay, and this is always context-based. So let's say you someone is in your home and you're walking by the kitchen. You don't have to think, oh, I'm going to get the dullest knife. I'm going to get the knife that will, in fact, inflict the least amount of harm. But you get a knife, you grab what's there, and you're confronted. So you defend yourself. So 1 stab, 2 stabs, who knows what the number. But let's say the person starts to run away. Are you able to then pursue and stab this person repeatedly in the back? I'm not saying that's what happened here, but there's a point. So unlike the American situation where you can do anything to defend your home, in Canada we do anything that's reasonable or proportionate in the circumstance. But we don't need to measure force, because it's impossible to measure force at a point when you're afraid. Your adrenaline's high. So it really is context-based. Now, the police have discretion whether to charge or not. But in a situation like this, I think they're really saying, we'll just leave it up to the judge.
Is there a case here?
I think there's a case on both sides. Now, maybe once the Crown looks at it, they'll say, well, in light of these circumstances, we're not going to proceed. Because in this province, unlike other provinces, we have no pre-charge screening. We have post-charge screening. So the charge is laid, and then the Crown screens it to see if there's a reasonable prospect of conviction. So it may be a situation where this never actually proceeds much further. We don't know.
In this case, Kim, who is facing the more severe charge? Is it the home's resident, or is this the alleged intruder?
Okay, so the severity of the charge, we look at the maximum sentence.
Yeah.
So maximum sentence on a residential break and enter is life.
Okay.
Maximum sentence on an aggravated assault is 14 years. So maximum sentences is what you look at, but they're both very serious charges.
I just picture, you know, somebody's in your home, you're woken up out of a dead sleep, and then you are defending yourself. So you're doing everything you can in the moment. To think that you would, in that moment, think, is this reasonable defense?
Right.
It's got to be some gray area.
Oh, it absolutely is gray area. So it's really in the moment. That's the key here. But I think there's something about this case that maybe we don't understand. Because the police looked at this and said, something happened outside of in the moment.
Okay.
Right, so that's really what they would have had to say. So in the moment means you're defending yourself, you're even maybe to a certain degree an extent of pursuing is allowed, because you have to get this person out of your home.
Right.
But you can't just get mad and there's no vigilante justice. So that's where you have to start to draw the line, where vigilante justice, or I'm going to get back at this person for what they've done, as opposed to defend yourself. So that's really the nuance in this situation. And unlike the American situation where the defense to that extent is legislated, we have self-defense and defense of property under our criminal code is legislated, but it leaves it open, very much open.
Well, this is going to be very interesting to watch how this plays out. Kim Schofield, thanks for your time this morning. We do appreciate you coming in.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.